Rome, the empire where wealth flowed like endless rivers of gold. A civilization so powerful, so magnificent, that it believed it could never fall. Imagine walking through its streets, treasures shining in the sun, merchants shouting their prices, and citizens wrapped in silks from the east. Coins glittered in the treasury, so many that even the walls of Rome seemed to glow. Wealth was everywhere, from Africa to Asia, from Britain to Egypt. Rome controlled it all. Its trade routes stretched across seas and deserts, bringing in spices that filled the air with fragrance, silk that shimmered in the markets, and wine that flowed like water. Every ship, every caravan, carried fortune back to Rome. Legions of soldiers marched on mighty Roman roads, roads so well built that some of them still exist today. With every conquest came more riches, more slaves, more land. To the world, Rome looked unstoppable. Inside the emperor's palace, luxury knew no limits. Imagine golden walls, marble floors, feasts where food never ended, and treasures stacked high as mountains. The emperor and his court drowned in pleasures while the empire seemed eternal. But there was a darker truth. To keep the citizens quiet, the rulers gave them bread and circuses, free food and violent games at the Colosseum. The crowds cheered as gladiators fought for blood. For a while, people forgot their suffering. But bread and games could not hide what was coming. Behind the golden walls, Rome was bleeding. Wars drained the treasury. Emperors spent fortunes on luxuries. And when the gold was gone, the unthinkable happened. Coins were no longer pure. They were mixed with cheap metals. The people realized their money was losing value. Inflation struck like a silent enemy. The same loaf of bread that once cost a single coin now needed handfuls. Ordinary citizens starved, while the rich clung desperately to their power. Trade collapsed. The markets that once overflowed with goods became empty. Ships stood still in the harbors. Roads that once carried wealth across the empire now carried nothing but silence. And when the treasury weakened, emperors turned to heavy taxes. Tax collectors stripped wealth from the poor. The same people who once cheered in the Colosseum now lived in fear and misery. And then came the nightmare. Rome burned. Flames devoured its temples. Statues crumbled. Streets filled with smoke. Enemies pressed in from every side. The empire that once ruled the known world was collapsing. The mighty Roman Empire, the greatest superpower of its time, was reduced to ruins. Broken roads, abandoned palaces, a ghost of its former glory. But history leaves us a warning. Even the richest empires collapse when greed, corruption, and arrogance destroy their foundation. So remember, wealth alone is not enough. Protect your fortune. Protect your legacy. Because even giants can fall. This is Legacy Hustle.